Naturi, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Obviously, you've known for a long time that you were going to come back in the series. So when talking to Courtney and 50 as far as where they're going to take Tasha, uh, what is it that they told you that said, okay, I'm ready, continue the story?
Wow. I think it was toward the middle end of season 6 when, Courtney kind of let me know that Tasha is going to be the last woman standing and that she will continue. Actually, Courtney has been saying that since season 1. So I was always like, really? Like I get to do this another season. So I'm very grateful. But I think one of the things that 50 and Courtney said to me is that, Tasha represents the women, a lot of women across, the world, and they've connected to her so much. So we're going to change her from being this glamorous, well put together, snatched drug dealer's wife to becoming a really vulnerable, broken mother, who's lost a daughter already and doesn't want to lose her son. So by putting her in prison, breaks her all the way down. And I think I was excited when they told me that. I was like, oh, we get to show. I mean, I got my cornrows here. They're much more fabulous than the Tasha version, but it definitely shows Tasha in a new light.
So obviously for what we've seen so far, Tasha is vulnerable, but at the same time, strong enough to make some decisions that impacts her son. How much different is she going to be from the seasons we saw in Power?
Ooh, I would say she's going to be very different than the seasons you've seen in Power because, I mean, how could she not be? She's conspired with her son to kill her husband. I mean, that's crazy. And she's taken the fall for her son murdering Ghost, which is a huge adjustment. Let's just keep in mind, Ghost has been my husband and a huge part of Tasha's existence. So I think she's finding her own footing in the world. And I guess a sense of reality has hit her now that she's really in this, on her own. It's really just Tasha and Tariq right now. Although she has, her other child, baby Yasmin and Estelle, which is her mom. I think this season you'll see how different Tasha is because she's in prison. So she doesn't really have the same freedom that she used to have all throughout, the 6 seasons. She can't go in her closet and put on, her Tom Ford thigh-high boots anymore. She's wearing an orange jumpsuit all the time. So I think that alone is a mental shift.
And for you as an actress, what has Power, the series, done for you, and how have you grown, even though you're going to continue this road that you've had for a long time?
Ooh, Power the series has done so much for me. It actually is super vulnerable and emotional because I think about where I started. I was 29 years old, living in a 1-bedroom apartment that I was renting. I own my own home. I've moved to New York City and I'm from Jersey, so I get to be close to my family. I've had a baby in the middle of shooting. I was 5 months pregnant, running after Tariq while I was holding my belly. I came back to work 8 weeks after a C-section. I literally, I actually feel like for the first time in my career, there's stability, and that's one thing as an actor, to your question, it's so important. Actors often just are thirsting and, desiring stability because we don't always know where our next job is coming from. So to have a show like Power and now Ghost, which is 7 years later, I am not complaining. I can pay my bills. I'm good.
Well, it's always good seeing you. I like the braids, so keep it
Thank
going.
you. Thank you so much.
And then
You actually
we
did a
will
good
see each
job.
other face to
Barbie.
face when this is over.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Have a good
Appreciate
one.
it.
Take
Okay.
care.
Take care.